Alberta's Premier is demanding an apology tonight over a new wildfire report from the town of Jasper. Danielle Smith says it unfairly criticizes her government's role in last summer's response. In turn, the town says it stands by its review, saying it is not laying blame, but rather learning lessons. Erin Collins takes us through the reaction.
This report comes as a shot out of the blue. It's unfair, it's untrue, and I would like them to withdraw it.
Premier Danielle Smith demanding an apology, upset with the report critical of her government's response to last year's wildfire in Jasper.
The province was not asked to help until the fire reached the town. This was a federal response by Parks Canada. They chose not to ask us to come into unified command until the cleanup began. And I would say that what I would like to see is for us to be called into unified command a whole lot earlier.
Well, the report says Alberta hindered firefighting efforts by trying to take control, complicating the response, contributing to confusion and increased safety risks. Bill Given is Jasper's Chief Administrative Officer.
The report obviously identifies that that's something that is a complication that needs to be discussed, and additional dialogue probably needs to happen between all the parties involved.
The Jasper report was authored by an independent consultant and surveyed hundreds of firefighters and other people involved in the response to the wildfire. Erin Collins, CBC News, Calgary.
Now, for more reaction on this report, we reached Marc LeBlanc. He and his family lost their home last year due to the devastating wildfires in Jasper, and he joins us now from Jasper. Marc, thank you so much for making time for us.
No problem.
Marc, it's been almost a year since the wildfires, and I know that we spoke to you right around this time last year. I just want to ask you how you're doing, how your family's doing.
We're doing just fine. Family's having a decent summer. They had a good year in school, the kids. Jasper was very resilient and did a lot of the right things early after the fire to get everybody back here as fast as possible. So, to be honest, it's gone really well, actually. So, I think we all felt pretty sorry for ourselves there for a while, but just the attitude of let's get on with it. Let's fix what needs to be fixed, and let's be in Jasper and make it great. That's kind of how we are right now. So it's been good. Challenging, but good.
I'm so glad to hear that, because I know how much you guys went through around this time last year. Now, your town, the town of Jasper, the resilient community you just talked about, released a report yesterday examining what went right and wrong, the effectiveness of the municipality's response to the fire. What are your thoughts on this report?
Well, the report is something I just read today. I had a busy day at work, and then everybody started mentioning this report, and then you guys called for an interview. So I've had, a couple hours this afternoon to kind of look at it and read some of the news, as well as watch the interview with the Premier. And to me, it looks like a necessary kind of a report that you would do after such an incident. And it's a responsible thing that government would engage and produce this kind of a report so that we can understand what we did, what we didn't do, what we should have done, and all the factors that go into it. So it's, I think, a 56-page report that was done by a private firm that's independent, so as to, not bring a political angle into it. It looks fairly well done from what I've read of it, which is almost all of it. I tried to get through as much of it as I could, but it looks like the right kind of a report. And I think it was done with engagement from people who had a stake in helping to fight the fire, and people at all levels. So it looks like a really good report to me at first glance.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you so much for poring over it in preparation for this interview. But you said it was really interesting to me that the people are talking about it. This is something that's significant to people like you and your neighbors. What are you hearing regarding the report from the people in your community?
Well, with the limited amount of time I've had so far, what we kind of feel like is we respect Premier Smith's role here but I think that her comments are kind of mischaracterizing the purpose of the report, and it wasn't meant to attack the province or anything. It was like a clear-eyed review of what happened. So I think we want to embrace the lessons in that report and not deflect them and politicize them. So that's kind of the way I feel Jasper is going to see this.
You don't believe that Jasper is going to apologize and retract the report, which is what Premier Smith has been demanding?
Yeah, I don't get the sense that we would agree that an apology is necessary. I mean, like I say, maybe I need to spend a little more time with this report and try to find where she's coming from there. But I don't think that this report is about that. I think it's about, like I explained earlier, just trying to understand what happened and do a thorough review. And why would this town try to start pointing fingers at the province and get into an unnecessary fight over that right now? I think we're just trying to understand, moving forward, how we would do it better next time. So, no, I'm a little shocked actually that she's asking for an apology. I'm going to try and understand why she feels that way over the coming days as I read further into it. But at first glance here, I'm a bit confused at why she's asking for that.
Marc, I just wanted to ask you just one final question. What would you like to see happen as a result of this? I think that when I was covering this story last year, we were hearing from so many Canadians who don't live in Jasper, but who have been there and are so attached to its beauty as one of those really emblematic Canadian places. So I think that there's a great curiosity across the country as so many provinces are battling wildfires and tens of thousands of people have already been made to leave their homes. What are some of the lessons learned? What would you like to see happen as an outcome of the terrible times you guys went through last year?
Well, I think that I would like to see this world stop the finger pointing that goes on after these crises take place, because they're very complex situations. And in our case, it was unprecedented dry conditions in the forest, climate change, and everything that goes on that leads into these fires. And so, as human beings, we all want to point fingers after the case and try and find somebody to blame. And I just would like to see that stop. Meanwhile, I'd also like for people to come and visit Jasper because we're open for business. And, 70% of this town did not burn, which is a direct result of all the planning, hard work, and dedication that went on before the fire for years. And the evacuation itself was miraculous, how well that went. So there's a lot of positives here in Jasper that we can talk about with what happened. And I think that the world just needs to understand that we're still here. We're open. We're ready to host you if you want to come. It's peak season right now, so start looking maybe another month or two out. But and you can't find a place to stay. But Jasper's still here, and it will be here for a long time to come. I just want people to stay positive and stop pointing fingers. Let's learn. This is an evolving situation with climate change, and I think people just need to, be smart and listen and learn. So that's what I think.
Marc, thank you so much for that. I do know that the town of Jasper has also a multiple-step climate adaptation plan in the works as well. So it looks like there's lots of lessons learned happening right now. And thank you for always being such a great ambassador for your town of Jasper. That was Jasper resident Marc LeBlanc.